One of the biggest financial fears that people have is that they're going to run out of money in retirement. So, the finance guru, is it all doom and gloom? Can someone like me, I guess I'm about 15 years from retirement, could I ever retire?
Well, it's not all doom and gloom to start with, and as far as you go, King, nobody wants you to retire. I mean, you're in such incredible
Oh,
demand.
thank you. Thank you.
Maybe we can get you there, but it certainly won't be good for the rest of us if you were to
I
retire.
wouldn't know what to do with myself if I did retire, so I don't think I'll ever retire. So there you go.
Well, if you do decide to retire, let's talk about what that would look like. So you're right. A big question that people have always is, will I outlive my money? And let's face it, longevity is a gift, and it could also be a curse because we all want to live longer, but the question becomes, can we afford to live to be 80, 90, 100 years old? So what is it that we can do to prepare for the inevitable? At some point in time, retirement is there. So step one is really a mental adjustment, and people have to realize that if you're the average person, you just can't live the way you used to. Doesn't mean you can't live well. It just means that you have to make certain adjustments in your lifestyle. So let's break those down just a little bit. The first thing that people think about related to retirement is, I've been working so many years, I want to spend some time traveling. Great. My recommendation is if traveling is something that you want to do, it's best that you do it right after you retire for a number of reasons. One, you'll presumably be young enough to enjoy it, and over the years, you're not going to get any healthier. So the best time to be able to get around and do the things that you want to do and really enjoy it in as good as health as you could be in is to do it right after you retire. And on top of that, you also have to look at it and say you're probably going to be in a stronger financial position once you do retire than you may be 10 years down the line after that. The other adjustment I should say is you have to really focus in on that. You need to spend less. So although you plan for multiple scenarios that could happen in retirement, on average, you'll spend 30% less than you expect. And that's because you need to become a little bit more frugal. And the things that you did in the past that perhaps you paid for, you look for some other options. Like if you were a member of a tennis club, well, playing tennis is free if you go to a public park. There's some cheaper food alternatives. Libraries, for example, offer a lot of free stuff. And, maybe it's a stereotype, but time to start cutting coupons. So you have to really focus in on how could I make my money go as far as possible. The other side of this, though, is there's good news. The rainy day is here. You spend your whole life preparing for that rainy day. Well, retirement is the rainy day. And you don't need to save for retirement once you're in retirement. So all the money you may have been putting into your 401k, well, that's no longer coming out of your pay. It's now time for you to start to draw on that money. At the same time, your income tax bracket should go down in retirement. Therefore, you're going to have more disposable income being in a lower tax bracket in hand. So these are important things to remember as well. And let's face it, food, shelter, clothes, TV, internet, deodorant, what else do you really need at that point? It's time to cruise, so to speak. So it's not all doom and gloom, and certainly you could make it through, King, even though we don't want you to go.
All right. Well, thank you for that, Guru.